joined by Mark Schlereth. And Mark Schlereth, I mean, you are just a man of many talents. We know. You are. Former player, analyst. So normally we go through what everybody is doing, right? But you have so much going on. Why don't you just tell us where we can find you? I feel like every time I turn on a TV screen, I see you, right? Yeah. What do you got going on right now?
I am trying to hide, so I'm not going to let you guys know anything that I'm doing. I'm just going to let you talk nicely about me for another 5 minutes, and I'm going to leave.
There you go.
Let me just tell you guys that I'm probably the most incredible Super Bowl participant in the history of the Super Bowl. So I got to believe that I'm the only guy, as rated by ESPN the other day, that was on 3 top 20 Super Bowl teams. I was on the 19th team rated, which is the 97 Broncos, the 10th rated team, which is the 98 Broncos, and the number 1 rated team in the history of the Super Bowl, the 91 Redskins, the only team that ever had a top 5 defense, top 5 offense, and top 5 special team. So I'm incredible. And let me see, what else have I done? I'm on the top Super Bowl team. The top, whatever they listed, CBS created the top players ever in the Super Bowl. So I'm on the Super Bowl all-time team. And then I'm the only guy in the history of the Super Bowl to win a Super Bowl on his birthday, where the Super Bowl, actually the date or the number of the Super Bowl correlated with the guy's birthday. So I won Super Bowl 32 on my 32nd birthday. So I kick ass, I take names, I'm incredible, and you know what? And that's much does it. All right. Good talking to you guys.
Thank you, Mark.
That was awesome.
Right?
Well, it just says, and I think that encapsulates everything, because when
plus, I forgot to tell you guys, I'm super humble.
Yeah, I was going to say,
the most.
The
most. Rated number 1 most humble.
Yeah. That's right.
By ESPN.
As we talked to Mark Schlereth, football guy, NFL on Fox, also on The Fan as well, out in Denver, another brother-sister station, Bonneville.
Another Bonneville.
Got to represent, of course. What are you thinking? I'm sure I've seen you do about 18 different hits just in the last couple of days. How many times have you been asked the game manager question? Let's do it that way.
Well, let me tell you, I did San Francisco's last 2 games of the regular season. So I did week 17, week 18. And the first thing I asked Brock Purdy when I sat down with Brock was, okay, people call you game manager. How do you respond? And I love this. He looked at me and said, anybody who would call me a game manager either hasn't watched the film or has watched the film and have no idea what they're looking at.
We actually talked about your quote on our radio show when you said that.
So he bristled, and I'm 100%. Now, I'm a huge Brock Purdy fan, but I believe in managing the game for the quarterback position. I believe on throwing the ball on time. I believe in doing the right, taking the first read in the progression. If it's open, throwing it. And, I'll tell you one thing. I had talked to Byron Leftwich and Bruce Arians when Tom Brady was playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the head coach Bruce Arians and Leftwich was the offensive coordinator. I said, what sets Brady apart? What's special about him? And they said, if the first read in the progression is a flat route for 5 yards and it's open, Brady will take it 100 out of 100 times and put himself in second down and 6-. And that is rare, to be able to fall in love with the mundane.
Yeah.
To be able to understand how valuable that is as far as staying on schedule and staying in front of the chains. And that's not high level kind of quote unquote quarterbacking.
Yeah.
That is taking what they give you and being maniacal in the way you go about your business. And so Brock Purdy, to watch him work through progressions, and I've seen him get to the fourth read in a progression in under 2.5 seconds, under 2 seconds. He has got unbelievable footwork. And, when you talk about offensive and playing quarterback, there's an old saying in the West Coast offense that you throw the ball with your feet. And so every route and every route combination is got a corresponding footwork that goes with it.
Okay.
And when you hit that timing in the footwork, that ball is supposed to be out.
Yeah.
And so just the timing of an offense is kept in the quarterback's feet. And if that quarterback's feet are bad, or those sets aren't right, or those drops aren't perfect, then it doesn't time up with a route combination. And so Brock Purdy is exceptional foot energy and exceptional with his feet. And that's why you can overcome not having, the livest arm because you are on time with the football all the time. And you cannot be on time with the football if your feet are not on time.
So I love that you said that, and specifically with the West Coast offense, talking to Mark Schlereth, you've heard him calling games for NFL on Fox. So is it crazy? Because a lot of people keep doing this. If Josh Allen was on the Niners, they'd score 8,000 points every game. Based on what you said and the footwork, is it crazy to say that there are some of these quote-unquote elite guys that may not fit Kyle Shanahan's offense as well as somebody like Brock Purdy based on Brock's specific skill set?
Yeah, well, I think that obviously you would fit, Josh Allen and that arm talent into just about anything. But again, it really comes down to the nuance of football, and every position has unbelievable nuance involved in it to be effective. And you don't have to be the biggest or the strongest, but you do have to be a technician, and you do have to be incredibly married to your craft. And the guys who play that way, the guys who play disciplined, are the guys who make the critical plays in the critical moments. And the guys who aren't, because you can only, I don't care how good your arm talent is, you can only play off schedule so much. I call it this is my own kind of thing. I call it the 70-30 rule. 70% of the time we want to be on schedule. 30% of the time things are going to get screwed up.
Right.
And you got to play off schedule. Right? That's just the way it is. But if that gets out of whack and you start playing 50-50 ball, 50% off schedule, you'll make some plays.
Right.
But ultimately what you'll do is you'll create enough bad plays, and there'll be enough turnovers and enough things that happen to you in those off schedule plays where it ends up hurting you.
Yeah.
And so to be on schedule, to me, you have to play quarterback. You have to manage the game to be effective in this league. And we keep looking at it, and like Lamar, and there's no fault of Lamar, but whether it's Lamar or these guys that play more, even Russell Wilson, play more off schedule than they do on schedule. I'm still waiting for the first one of those guys to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It is those classic drop back, beat you from the pocket quarterbacks that end up, in my estimation, are the guys that, the NFL, it still is that type of league.
Yeah. They always say it's a copycat league. I mean, I don't know how much you can replicate having Patrick Mahomes on your team, but if teams were to try and take what has made the 49ers so successful, what do you think it would be? Would it be how they've built the team? Or
Well, I think, listen, how you build the team, obviously their talent is unbelievable. It's exceptional. But how you run the ball. And as much as we try to morph the NFL into college football, it's not.
And devaluing running backs.
And it will never be. And so, I mean, I probably talked to 12 different teams last year alone. Offensive line coaches, coordinators, guys that I'm friends with, head coaches. Every one of them was studying the San Francisco 49ers run game. Every single one of them. How are they doing it?
Yeah.
How are they creating these angles? How are they using their motions and their shifts to create angles and create opportunities? And, I tell people this all the time. You look at like how they block an edge, how they block a defensive end. And you can take one play like 18 handoff, for instance, and you can trade block it with tackle tight end. You can quad block it with two tight ends. You can quad block it with two tight ends, but one coming from a solo off or solo back. So he motions across and he can go inside, take it off, or he can motion across all the way, and that the guy on the line of scrimmage can stay inside and he can be the outside portion. Now all of a sudden we can do it from a backfield set where it's near and it's a fullback loading it, or you can load it inside, you can load it outside. Now it's a fullback from a far formation. Now he motions across and now you can arc release, right? And that defensive end is going to go with that arc release, and all of a sudden you slam him in the ear hole from the opposite side with a fullback. So I just gave you 7 different ways or so of blocking a defensive end. So 2 guys adjust in that for San Francisco, right? 9 guys are doing the same damn thing they do on every play. It's the exact same play, but to a defense, it looks like 9 different plays.
Yeah.
To you, it's just one play.
Yeah.
It's just 2 guys blocking it a different way and create an edge. Now, think about this if you're a defensive end. Now your head's on a freaking swivel. So now all of a sudden it comes time to rush the passer. You're like, where are they blocking me from? You know, and then all of a sudden now you run a little transportation series and you motion a tight end from outside inside and he crack blocks the guy and you little pin and pull block. So now I just gave you another way to block that same defensive end, right? Yeah. And it's still 18 handoff.
Yeah.
And they make people's heads spin, and then all of a sudden in critical situations, you're a pass rusher and you're not worth a crap because your head's on a swivel. Like, where are they going to get me from? And so their run game is exceptional. And as easy as that sounds, it's really hard because you got to be on the same page all the time, and you got to do it from shifts and motions and create angles that essentially give you an advantage. So they're really they do a great job from an execution standpoint, and that's what makes them really special.
Yeah. Mark Schlereth, before we get you out of here, got to get your Super Bowl pick.
Well, come on, I'm a Shanahan guy.
Okay, all right, that's what we're talking about.
Mike and I are good friends, and I'm friends with Kyle, and I've known Kyle since he was freaking 12. So I'm going Niners 27, Kansas City 26.
Okay, so the Niners finally get it done, get
Let's
number
hope.
6. Thank you to Mark
Schlereth.
Go.
Yes.
3-time Super Bowl champ, call game for Fox, Denver Sports, Bonneville, sister station. Thank you, Mark Schlereth. Got to get to a break. When we get back, more Stiles and Watkins.
The Kings made a trade
from Vegas, and the Kings made a trade. Sactown Sports.